not represent L'Amour Media versatility, that of any broadcast networks utilized, its advertisers, or sponsors. All content is subject to copyright and may not be reproduced in any form without prior written consent by L'Amour Media Versatility. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of Colorful Voices of Sisterhood are for general public information and entertainment purposes only.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Colorful Voices of Sisterhood. We'd like to thank our viewers, our followers for your continued support. And please don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, and share. Well, Happy New Year to all of you. And Happy New Year, sisters.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
For another year. Yes.
2024 already and
A fresh start.
yes.
Yes. Ready for some big plans this year.
So what did you guys do for New Year?
We always like watching the ball drop. That's always fun.
You know,
Family get together, playing games,
Staying safe.
staying safe,
Staying
staying
safe.
inside.
Yes.
Yes,
Staying
staying
safe.
inside.
So did you eat a lot of good food? Because last time we were talking about healthy living. So did you guys keep that?
I ate a carrot or two.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Maybe one. Yeah.
No,
It
it's
was,
all
it's
good.
after Christmas dinner, then you got New Year's dinner,
I know.
Mhm.
Lots of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're tired of cooking and being in the kitchen and making big meal after Thanksgiving. I don't think you need to
Right.
cook a lot of meal.
Mhm.
In our culture, they say always eat fish for smooth sailing. You eat
Oh.
collards for money.
Mhm.
So definitely we ate fish because we want smooth sailing. Hopefully the money is just gonna come.
Hopefully.
I love fish.
Hopefully.
I love salmon. It's always
Seafood
good.
is my favorite. I can eat all of that.
Me too.
All seafood.
So
All sea creatures.
do you also air fry your some of your seafood?
Yes.
Because I know
Yes.
the last
Yeah.
topic we had.
Yes.
I even tried that air fryer with fish.
Oh, please.
Oh.
I
Does this
cannot
smell
wait to
stay in
have you-
it?
Oh,
How's that go?
let me tell you, I cannot wait to cook for you guys. You
Mhm.
you have to try. I swear, you will see differently how I make my fish.
Mhm.
An
But in an air fryer.
Yes.
Okay.
Is
I
your
mean,
head
like,
on or
oh,
your head off?
Let me tell you, I don't cook with my feet.
No, I'm saying the fish.
Head.
Oh, the fish head.
Fish head.
It's the fish eyes and nothing like that.
No,
Oh,
you
that
make it
is the
cute.
best. You have to eat. You will have
No.
the beautiful. I'm just.
She said my feet. Girl, we're talking about the fish. Okay, let's dive into your house.
It's one thing I do. Everything I touch, it is good. I believe it. It's my hand. It's my hand and my heart.
I believe
I cook when I do out of
But I
love.
see what you posted on Facebook though. Those are it looks yummy. I
Yeah.
mean, the presentation is really good.
Thank
Yeah.
It's like a top-notch restaurant.
you. Oh, well, it's coming soon. Tune in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
You can even do it where some people don't like to cook. You can just call them and say, "Hey, pick up the meal on your way in."
Yeah.
I won't, probably pay for something like that.
Let me
Yeah,
start with
lazy.
you guys. Let me start with you guys. You guys be my first customer, then we can move to the next.
Okay.
How about that?
We will be your food taster first.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
There you go.
You guys are my future investors, so that's why I'm inviting you guys to my.
Future customer, maybe.
Well, why don't you get started?
No, I don't want you guys to fight over. No, Fatia, I'm gonna go full time invest in you, not them.
So you always talk about it, but do you have a timeline really, when are you going to start?
You know what? Honestly, I was thinking about that. I was talking to Lamar. I said I have to, and Diana earlier. I have to jump. It
Mhm.
means that I have to take a risk. It
Mhm,
means,
mhm.
and I have to quit my job, and it takes time. I already have, believe it or not, I have the plan. I have the menu, everything. It just I have to just
Find an
jump.
investor and
Just
all
get in
that.
it.
Yeah.
Jump
Do
and
it.
take a
Well,
risk.
go ahead and do it
Well,
before
if you
April
got the
26th. We can
plan-
bring her to Vine and Dine.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, get your customer base
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you got a plan, go present it to some investors.
You see, this is what so I used to go to business what they call coastal,
Mm-hmm.
and also I teach as a guest chef in culinary art college, a
Mhm.
student in East Africa food. Um, yeah, I really have to put everything I get to follow this path.
You need to get your plan, your timeline set, and
Mhm.
just follow it.
Yes, I have to
Yeah.
do that.
Oh my. Well, today we got a good topic. Talk about civil rights. You know, it's
Mhm.
January. You know, obviously we know we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. This
Mhm.
month, and he was definitely a civil rights
Yes, that's
activist
my
and
uncle.
made changes. Yes, he's made changes. But I definitely want to talk before we roll into that. Definitely talk about the comment that former President Trump made about immigrants
The immigrant poisoned the blood of our
poisoning the
country,
blood
which
of our
was one that they
country.
said Hitler pretty much said the same thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
dictatorship.
And to me, immigrants are the blood, not poisoning the blood, are the blood.
Or the blood, yeah. Well, when you
'Cause
think
we-
about the immigrants, you know, coming in, you know, we have the Irish, we have the Spanish, we have Germans,
Asians,
And
I mean,
there.
Asians. I
mhm.
mean, there's just so many immigrants that are here and are getting along, blended families.
Don't forget his wife.
We got his wife is an immigrant.
His children, they have. And, you know,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean the country was really built on immigrants.
Yes.
So for him to say that comment, it just baffles me. But really I'm thinking he said south of the border. So he's being specific.
But I
on
think,
who's talking about.
yeah, everyone loves to come over here in America because it's really it's the land of opportunity,
It
as they
is.
say. But I think what he's talking about is people who are coming here. He's talking about the illegal people.
Mhm.
That comes especially in the south border.
Mhm.
I mean, we talk so many times in our topics before about fentanyl, drugs, sex trafficking. But the south border is really one of our problems too.
So
Mhm.
you saying
But I
about-
think it's not just south though, it's the north. When you think about 9/11, they came from the northern border
Mhm.
when they came and committed atrocities. So that's my thing is if you're going to talk about the border of our country, talk about the border of our country, the waterways where the drugs are
Yes.
coming in. The northern border is where, you know, the Taliban came in
Mhm.
and changed our history drastically from that three incidences in that morning of September 11th. And then, but it's always the focus of the southern border. And to me, when they focus on the southern border, they're being specific as far as I take it as a color of their skin, is what I'm taking it as. And being from this country, not immigrant, most of you guys know I am Native American. And when you talk about North America as a whole, the indigenous people have been here for centuries.
Yes.
And that includes our brothers and sisters south of the border. When there was no border, they can easily cross back and forth. Texas belonged to Mexico at one point. You know, the Louisiana Purchase was a big purchase that the United States made at one time. So when we draw this imaginary border there, south of the border, where it's easy to cross back and forth when they got family on one side or the other. To me, I think he's intentional and specific on who he's talking about.
Yep.
And that's what I have a problem with. If people want to talk about the border, the security of the border, let's talk about the security of the border. North, the waterways, and the waterways are huge
Yes,
because
it
the
is.
waterways is the biggest border we've got. And to me, that is where the drugs are coming in.
Mhm.
There are some coming from the north and the south, but that waterway is too big of a border to
To stop anything.
just stop anything.
It can be anywhere,
Yeah.
north, south, east,
Mhm.
west.
Yeah. But I really
But,
want to pay attention to when he said poisoning the blood.
Mhm.
That's what I got an issue with, because all people, no matter where they're from, are good people.
Yeah.
Whether you're black, purple, pink, red, you name it. And to say somebody's poisoning the bloodline, that is
What
just.
do you mean by that?
I think that's where I'm taking it as we got bad blood, is what he's saying.
Mhm.
Some people has got bad blood.
I think he's one of them. And if you look in history, the people that he's using and take care of his hotel, they are those bad blood that he hired and he paid them for low. And his wife, she's immigrant, which is his son. He's blended.
Mm-hmm.
So who he's really specifically he's talking about?
Well, we shouldn't just pinpoint to one person like former
Mhm.
President Trump, but what about those people before him, before he became a president? I mean, come on, let's talk about performances too. Like, for example, here we go again, South Border. He
Mhm.
did really good with that. But then, after his presidency, what's President Joe Biden did at first? First day, he reversed all his policy. See?
But
But that's the same thing that Trump did with
South border,
President Obama.
the South border
That's the
now.
same thing that he did with
did with
President
Obama.
Obama when he came in. He reversed stuff. He come up with policies that he never come up with health benefits. So if you want to look at it all. Don't look at him, because all he did to me is let racism come out.
yes,
He made it where people can hate people just based on the color.
Well,
Look at it, because you're singling like one thing. Look at this whole thing that Trump did versus January the 6th. Come on now.
Well, and my thing about the border, because Agnes brought up a good point on how it changed. But one thing that happened during that Trump era, which it affected so many
people.
immigrant children, was they put them in camps.
Yes.
They put these children in camps. They separated them from their parents.
Yes.
We had thousands upon thousands of people living in makeshift camps, like they were prisoners.
Yes.
We are
Animals.
talking children.
Animals.
Children that was taken from their parents. Now, granted, they didn't go anywhere, but it still doesn't mitigate the point that we were still taking care of them.
Right.
We were feeding them, we were housing them, we were clothing them. But the bad thing that happened was those children were removed from their parents. When a child is removed from the parents at such a young age where they can't speak the language, they can't say what's happening to them, they can't, they're crying for their mom or their dad. To me, that was an atrocity. That was a shameful thing that we, and I'm going to say we,
Right.
as citizens, did to those immigrant children.
Yes.
That should not have happened. As a country that was based on immigration, a country that is still based on immigration, and immigrants that work the land, immigrants that help build our skyscrapers, immigrants that have brought so many cultures,
Good.
diversity,
Yes. Feels.
food
Yes.
yes.
to our country. For us to treat immigrants like that is shameful. It's very shameful. And that's coming from a Native American that came from ancestors who saw immigrants coming to this country. And to this day, I will not ever say that what Trump did at that southern border was the right thing to do after seeing those children in those cages like that.
And you being in the military and being able to go different places. So you've been able to see a lot.
Yeah.
So to be able to say that, that's powerful to me.
Oh, it is.
With the experience that
Because
you
you would
had.
never think that would happen here in our country.
Right.
You would never think that we would treat children like that.
Yeah.
And there was thousands of children in those camps all along the border. And I'd be curious to know what happened to them right now. Where
Right.
are they now 10 years later? You know, and what's scariest for me is one, they don't speak the language. And really what happened, and did we have people there that was had the capacity to care for children? Did they have people there that was, or was it really ran by the military? Was it run by the border patrol? Was it run by the police, the federal agents, whatever? Those people are not capable of working with children in a situation like that. So I'm really curious to see, what did we do mentally to those children?
Yeah, mentally.
During that time. So granted that Biden and Trump, and I don't want to make it a political thing. Is there a crisis at the border? Yes. I think us as a country, we got so many smart, intelligent people in this country that we should be able to come up with
A solution.
a solution.
That's right.
A solution.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be sides. It shouldn't be independent versus Democrat.
If they ever do away with them parties,
Yes.
if they ever do away with them parties and you vote for who the best person is for, I think the change will come. And until we do away with these parties, because
We gotta
people are
work
voting
together.
See, yeah.
just based on a party, and you've seen that locally.
Oh yeah.
You've
See,
seen
that
it.
is
They don't
our-
even know. But to me, if you study and you research what is going on, you cannot defend a person that has just done wrong and tell me you're a Christian.
Listen to
I'm
me.
done.
This is what I'm talking about. People stick on because they like this person because it fit them. It fit what they believe. But they don't see the big impact in other people, what they're doing, particularly this person, because he has power.
It was everything,
Drugs,
anything.
it come legally to America. It doesn't have to be in Mexico.
And the drugs have been here.
Oh, drugs was here before we were here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Actually, when this country people came, it was no paperwork. They came,
And
they
there
take it from
was-
you guys.
They
They
put
just
it
came.
on. Yeah.
So we cannot
Schools.
say Mexican and people come. We African, we fly. We don't cross, African came, they forced us to come here
On boats.
on
through the
boats.
waterway.
We didn't want to come. They forced us to be here.
You were immigrants,
Okay.
right?
We didn't need the paper. They forced us to come here. Okay. So people, this is their home. When they came, they bully, they take away from them. Nobody asked them the paperwork for them. So we cannot say everybody come from Mexico, they bring drugs.
And that's
No.
the fault of Trump.
No,
I
he-
hope not.
No.
I mean, that's been
Oh yeah. No.
From the
definitely
beginning.
not.
I don't.
Because-
I'm not saying that. The way he treating Agnes, what you don't see is he's affecting a lot of people. He say that I will be dictator to build the world like Hitler. What Hitler did is not okay to take 1 million people
Do you
lives.
think that each of the president are perfect?
No,
No one is
we're not.
perfect.
No,
But in each president, what I see to them is always, okay, what they have done. It's not all the words, but the actions.
Mhm.
I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah. And the actions.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff also that President Trump, I don't like.
Mhm.
Of course, some of his policy, I don't like.
I'm glad.
Some of the president what we have right now,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
not always.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
not.
that's for all the presidents.
right.
I agree.
That's
Yes,
right.
definitely.
I'm not
people do something that-
110% for him. I'm not 105% for him. I mean, I see.
I agree with you. Yes,
Mhm.
all the past we have corruption.
Mhm.
But what we see right now, we are in this generation, we speak of now going forward for the future. Like we can reverse the past. We can reverse to make it better. But now if we let that happen, what the past has happened and we let that now dictate in the next generation, we have to take a look at who are we voting, who are we listening to. This is very important. I get that. All the president did, we everywhere, even my country, everywhere, we know that. But now we're speaking of the country we are living, right? And we are the future president he's running for. We have to listen to what he's saying. What he's saying is going to become his action. That's the fact. What we think, it become word. We speak up, we take action. So if we don't take a look, that's going to be issues.
You know what I want
to
that. You know what I
That's
want to
true.
see in the future is, okay, whoever is sitting right now, let's say we have President Biden right now, and this is his policy, right? Let's take a look what kind of policies that is working. And whoever is the next, take that. And whatever is not working, you delete that and okay. What shall we
Build
do?
upon and not tear,
And that's
always tear down.
exactly
that.
how I think we all want that. We
Mhm.
all want that. And I think our elected officials at all levels
Right.
need to work on getting the people what they want.
Yeah, and that's
Instead of tearing down,
Instead of tearing
you take it
down,
and you build
yeah.
on.
Yeah,
And
it's
some
not
stuff
what
you can't get, you got, but you gotta look for the people.
Mhm.
We the people of the
Mhm.
United States. We forgot all
For the
about the
people,
But you
yes.
Constitution.
forgot about that.
It's
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
You know,
It
every-
doesn't
all of that is
matter.
gone.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
that now you won the election. Okay, now you have the power that you just take it away all this policy and then you wanted to put your
Let's work
your
together.
plan. Let's work
Yeah.
together.
Our House of Representatives, our senators, they all need to work
And
together.
that to me all should have a term limit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm in agreement with that. You know,
Yeah.
why is there a 75-year-old guy walking into Congress with his dang oxygen tank?
Mhm.
He's not in touch with the
What-
20-year-old who's starting out in the business world and trying to pay their student loans, trying to get medical coverage, trying to raise a family. He is long out of that. You know what I mean? We, as American people and those listening, we got the power to do that.
And
Yeah.
we need to get
We
people
really
in.
do.
We got
Need
to
to.
get
We
people
really
in.
do. We have to take a look like
Mm.
everybody's affected. You know, you might be rich, you might have things going on for you, but so many people is not. And the president we have right now is not working. Okay, who are we selecting the next one? What they are saying is very important for us to observe and to listen, not be biased because you like this person because he's fitting with
See,
your
that's the
tax.
thing. That's the
That's what
word that
tax.
the action that they did.
Mhm.
So the tax,
Yeah.
it's fitting me. So if I vote for him, he's gonna help me. What about the others?
Right.
So how he's building this country? You know, it just we really
And that's where I think it's important when we're talking about civil rights.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people worked hard to get where they're at. You know, just Native Americans. We didn't become citizens until 1924.
that is crazy to me.
1924, Native Americans became citizens of this country. And it was only because there was a large number of Native Americans that enlisted for World War.
Right.
That's why
That's
we
the
got our
reason.
citizenship. And Native Americans been the highest per capita in any ethnic group to serve
Mhm.
since World War II.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we continue to serve this country. We continue to protect it, even when people say, you know, obviously you guys know I serve too. You know, why would you protect a country that treated you guys so bad?
Mhm.
Because it's still our land.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still,
It's still our land. We want to make it good for our children. You know, as everybody out there should want to make it better for your children.
yeah.
You know, in order to do that, we all got to have equal rights.
Mhm.
We all got to have the same opportunity at an education, at a good paying job, at medical care. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
It
And when the
does.
civil rights movement came along, that's what it was about. They
Mhm.
just wanted an equal opportunity like everybody else.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's why I admire Martin Luther King Jr. Is because he had that voice
Mhm.
where it makes you, he draws you in and makes you want to listen to what he had to say. His "I Have a Dream" speech is probably well known,
very
almost better than
powerful.
the Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address,
Right.
which I have that on a plate at home. that sits out because that was a powerful speech
Mhm.
at that moment in time. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream was a powerful speech at that moment in time.
Which we got you teaching it from generation to generation.
Generation.
Because they was asking on, looking at the movement focused on expanding opportunity, so things wouldn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they wanted.
We don't want it to reverse back.
Yes.
We want everybody to have opportunity. I want my grandchild to have the same opportunity as Diana's
Yes.
grandchild when they go to school.
Yeah.
I
Why can't they
want-
walk hand in hand?
Why can't they?
You know?
Mhm.
When you're saying that, I'm gonna go with one of the ones that I was looking at, which was recent, with the Texas law talking about abortion, the reproduction.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
And this is an argument that I will argue to the day I'm gone.
Mm.
How can a man dictate what can be done to my body?
Mhm.
How?
I'm in agreement. Yes.
You know, I may not be for abortion, but I got
Mhm.
no business telling you what you're gonna do.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
your choice because I don't know what's going on.
And
That
everybody has
reproduction,
their reasonings.
yes,
Mhm.
everybody has a different reason of it.
Yeah. But speaking on that, Diana, there was a case that was just last week. Is that what
Kate
you're going
Cox.
to touch on?
Katie Cox,
Yes.
31 years old in Texas.
Mhm.
She was pregnant to end her pregnancy due to something with the fetus. Her fetus had been diagnosed with a rare and deadly genetic condition.
Mhm. But it puts her life at danger too. You know, so to me, as a mother, and that was my job, my daughter going through that, I would recommend to her to have an abortion. The child won't make it, or she won't make it. Why should I lose two?
Mhm.
You know,
That should be their decision.
but it's got to be their decision.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. You're
It's
right,
hard.
and it's difficult. Now, other cases, would I be like that? No. But
Again, case by case.
case by
Yes.
case.
Yeah.
But still, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter for me to say yes, no, yes, no. It should be up to that person,
Mhm.
just like everything else. You know.
And in saying that, the reproduction, there is hospitals where the babies could be left, you know, to be adopted, right? So they go to be adopted, then they wind up going to these homes that they abused.
Mhm.
They get mental illness. They started killing.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
See, to me, people just think one thing. They don't think the whole
Bill,
broad
The
picture
second
of how
and
this.
third echelon effects of something.
Mhm.
Right now in just our community alone, we don't have enough foster parents for the children in foster care right now. We have to send out our children in the community out to other
Mhm.
communities because we don't have the foster care here.
Mhm.
And what that does, in my opinion, it removes that opportunity for that child to reconnect with their family that's here. You know, there's no probably greater goal than somebody to reconnect families. And then that opportunity is taken away. But you're right. It's because, you know, whether a mother can't take care of the child at the moment, some people take a little longer to mature at that point. But sometimes you remove that opportunity for them to get together all together, you know, where they don't have an opportunity. But you're right. If they're not thinking of those second or third echelon effects, once that
Mhm.
child is born to a mother that can't care for a child, that child then is bouncing around.
Mhm.
Whether a family can take them, hopefully, family can take them. But if not, they could be going from foster home to foster home.
Mhm.
And you know what they travel, foster kids travel home to home in?
Yes.
A trash bag. Can you imagine telling a child to
A black trash bag.
put their stuff in a bag to carry to the next one?
It's sad.
It's
It's
sad.
sad.
I truly I feel bad.
This is
that
why I
this-
tell people all the time, when you look at politics, you better go all the way. You
You
better go
gotta
deep.
dig
Because this
in.
stuff is
real.
Yeah.
it ain't surface level.
No, it's
Mm-mm.
just
A
that's
black trash bag. Can you just imagine? That's where you see them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they have a organization that try to collect
Suitcases for
and
them.
stuff for 'em.
Mhm.
But okay, so then they go have mental health. Then they probably started selling drugs because they're trying to find a way.
Yeah.
Then they started robbing and they started killing and they're in jail.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's the reason it's very important to look not only your shoes and your good situation for other people. and you have to have empathy. If it was you, what you will do? You see, that's is when it comes to politics. We have politics that you are this group, you are that group. Sit back and see what is really going on around the world. Just don't go by, this is my belief system. This is what I believe. This is most of the time we do that. This is my belief system. This is what I do. But what is your belief system is doing to others?
And what happens if it happens to you or your
Look,
family?
yeah, exactly. If it's
That's why I
opposite,
tell
then
people all the
what?
time, I said, you better be careful because that same scenario can come
It can
back.
flip. Yeah, it can like table. It
And
can
then
change
what?
anytime. Then that's the reason you have to really like take a look deep into like say, okay, this is what my group beliefs say, but what is my heart say? What is right thing to do? But we don't have that these days. Everybody, it seems like everybody is fighting for power, for something that is destroying everybody else.
Well, I think when you say, fighting for power, I think when it comes to civil rights, you have to.
Oh, I
You
believe
have
that
to fight for the power.
when
You have
you
to
absolutely
fight
right,
for the right
Raquel.
to be equal.
You absolutely, I'm
At the
with you
table.
100%. The people fight for the right to be equal. If you
Mhm.
look, you speak
it's-
like Uncle and Martin, you and Magandhi, and so many people fight for their right, but they gave life in time. No, I'm with you with that.
Yeah, and it's not just fighting for a seat at the table.
Right.
Mm-mm.
You got to fight for a voice at the table.
Right.
Right now, the Secretary of Interior is the first Native elected to that position. The Secretary of Interior is the one who governs federal land, the reservations that the natives are living off of. They just elected the first Native to run that. Here we are.
Right.
That's good.
And the two-
Which is about
2024.
time.
But reservations been around for hundreds of years.
So what I'm saying, like, do what
And-
you guys say.
So we got a voice now.
Yeah,
is what
but
I'm
the thing
saying.
about it is it the first time that one ran? No. It's not.
Exactly.
But at
But we
least
didn't get the
it's-
right to vote until 1965.
Yeah. So we need a voice at the table for everybody.
Everybody
Everybody
every
needs
color.
to have a voice.
Mhm.
So
Everybody.
I'm glad you say that, Raquel. This is civil right and the right. Do you really? I'm asking you guys. Do you really believe that America is built by an honest and like it's built by immigrant? But you guys were here. The people even came. They take over. What do you guys will say America is built by? But now they say that we don't want nobody except if you're not this race.
I think I know the word that you're looking
So
for.
what's
Is it corruption?
yeah,
Corruption.
yeah.
Do you
And then
guys?
I think on that one there, when you talk about corruption of government, it happens all over the world when it talks about corruption
Oh,
of
yeah.
government. And
All
I
over the
think
world.
the United States is no different.
Mm-hmm.
I really think we are no different.
And
You
what
know.
we used to be, right?
It's
And
worse.
It started
in
like
other
that.
countries.
Honestly, it
Here?
started like that.
What's that?
They started
Yeah.
with corruption. They came, they take you land, and then they didn't give you your paper, but this is your home. It started with corruption. It started like you seem like it's bullies, and you go to somebody's house, and now it's my house, and you're gonna do as I say.
And that's why it's important for us to talk about these issues and continue to give the right to the people. So as a Native, my voice would be, I want to make sure my generation has the opportunity to do what my grandmother couldn't do. I want every generation to have that opportunity. If a child of color, of a certain religion, of a disability, you name it, I want that child to have the opportunity like any other child.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what it comes down to when you're talking about civil rights. Now, I'll be terrified if it ever reverted back, because my grandmother wasn't allowed to go into a bar because she was Native American. My grandmother, I'm one generation removed from
Right.
that. My school in the early 70s was desegregated, and they closed down our school in our neighborhood. Buses pulled up and picked us up to drop us off at all the other schools. Me and my sister didn't go to the same school because there were allocations on how many in what grades could go to each of the other schools. You know, and to me, the people who did that should have thought about first, let's just kind of switching between that school and another school and mixing it equally. Instead of shutting down the one school that was for minorities, and it was mostly Native and Black at the time, shut that school down and then bus out so there's only one or two in each of the other elementary schools. So to me, that's where it comes to when you're talking about civil rights, the person should have looked at that and seen how it was going to affect those children. You know, how is it going to affect, second grade me going to a school where I'm used to seeing nothing but brown people and I'm the only brown one, and how that felt for me as a child. So when you're talking about civil rights, that should all be taken in consideration. Make sure it's equal and fair is all I'm asking. Equal and fair when something's done.
That if that happened, it would be great. But we know that when I say power for the people, that they don't want everybody to have equal opportunity, equal power. They don't. That's why it's very important.
Even the right, for freedom of worship. There's a fight on that.
Oh my goodness,
That's
crazy.
really
That's what I mean. It's we like to say stuff is equal and there's equal opportunity, but there's not. There's not. We got mosques that are getting bombed right now.
Right.
Why? This year, 2023. Why?
That's right.
I that's what I don't understand.
Someone's practicing their religion.
I am glad. Sorry.
Go ahead, Agnes.
I'm glad that in my country we have this, freedom of religion, a freedom that we can come over here that they don't know. You cannot.
Where and here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you live there, you can go anywhere as long as you have visa, of course.
Not for everybody.
But now it seems like though we are of a shortage of nurses over there and teachers, but because it pays too small, of course these nurses and teachers, they're still being forced, not being forced from the government, but themselves to come outside of the country to make a decent living.
You mean Philippine to here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm talking about is, I'm glad that my country doesn't, tell you to no, you can't go anywhere.
You can't practice your
You stay here. But yeah, so we're glad that a lot of nurses, teachers, they're all over the place for their family. They go out of the country for their family so they can send their children to school, make a better living, make a better life.
Yeah.
So
And they go, Agnes, so do they go through like all countries? So do they go, or is it United States? Or
United
they go to
States,
Europe?
Canada, Europe. Oh, yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah.
Anywhere. So, yeah.
Like you say, everybody should have equal spiritual practice, because this is what you believe. This is why I believe we can all, and worship. Back then, they say they used to, Jewish, Christian, Islam, they used to worship beside each other. And now, Muslims, they cover their hair. They scared to cover to go to school. And because they've been teased.
After 9/11, right? They automatically think that just because they have on, the name of it just went out of my head.
And the hijab.
The job. Just because they have that, they automatically assume that they was a part of, it amazes me that people automatically categorize you.
Yeah, for all. Like, this is crazy. People, I'm Muslim, right? I never cover my hair. Never. When I pray, I meditate, I do. I go
Mhm.
and then that's how I pray. But people, they don't see me covering because I never had, even when I was little. And I
Mhm.
grow up in community that some wear, some they don't.
Mhm.
And no, my family, they never, my daddy never said you have to wear, but he was imam. So people think every Muslim that they don't even, you don't know which one is Muslim. You really
Mhm.
don't. You know what I'm saying? Because now you cover some people, some women, they want to
Mhm.
cover. So many Christian back home, they cover their hair. When you go to Orthodox church, you have to cover your hair. So what I'm trying to say, not all Muslim people, they are trying to blow people. Who right-minded? Who right-minded in the name of the Creator? Put the bomb and blow himself up and say,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to heaven. Come on now.
Mhm.
To me,
Yeah.
even that is crazy. Why I have to blow myself to go to heaven?
Mhm. And I would definitely say, from the United States standpoint on that, when it says, the freedom of religion, it's in our Constitution, it's our amendment,
Mhm.
one of our rights, that it gives no other American or anybody else to violate someone else's religious freedoms. And when you are bombing or targeting a religious institution such as a mosque, that's what you're doing. You're violating
That's
that
right.
person's civil rights, civil liberties, and the right as an American to practice freedom of their religion.
Mhm.
Yes.
Um, and
If we tell the truth, if we speak of truth, not only Muslim people do that. That blow. There are other
Oh,
terrorists
yeah.
that
Oh,
do.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
But we
all
choose and we pick
over.
which one we want to talk about, which one we want to tag and say, But they are KK and killing people. They're supposed to be Christians
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
and hate black people
Yeah.
until to this day.
To this very day.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, like, we cannot just pick these people because you hate them so much,
Mhm.
and they are just people that non-Muslim
Yeah.
do the same thing.
I think there's extremists in every
Everything.
organization. There's
Mhm.
those extremists that goes on because there's terrorist groups
Yes.
all across the world.
Mhm.
Yes.
Even here.
They're in Ireland, they're in the United States, they are in Africa, they're in South America, they are all over.
Mhm.
But you
Yes.
should not categorize if that person has a certain faith, blame it on that faith.
Mhm.
If that person has a certain skin color, blame it on that skin color. Because when you look at all the terrorist activities that just happened this year, now that's a research project for you guys. Look at how many terrorist activities happened this year. It's all across the world. It happens
Everywhere.
in France. It happens in Germany. Like I mentioned before, South America, Asia, United States.
Yeah.
We've had our own here.
We sure have.
And I just feel that when you place that in categories and blame a whole population for that, you are wrong in that
Yes.
for doing that.
Yeah.
But I think as Americans, and I say Americans because everybody here is an American, and the labels and titles, how they say African American, Native
Yeah.
American, we're all Americans.
Right.
We need to get to that point where we can say we are
We're Americans.
Americans.
We are one. Let's just
We
get
are
along.
one.
We are
Remember
one.
when that Asian hate,
What? Yes.
killing people, killing our own people, go back to your country, you don't
Going in
belong
their
here.
business.
Yes.
I mean, and
There's just too much hate.
And that's what I don't like to see coming from any leaders. Hate.
hate. Yeah.
Mhm. Because they
That
have
bothers
influence.
me because that they do have an influence.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching you.
Mhm.
And they could take that thinking, oh, I'm going to support you.
Yes.
So I'm going to support you by doing what you say. And I'm going to show that hate.
Mhm.
Because I've asked people, I've said, so you don't like that person. Tell me why. Because so-and-so, no, I want to know why you don't like them. You don't know them.
Yeah.
And this came back with Martin Luther King one year because I was like, I'm not working on Martin Luther King Day. That's my uncle, right?
Mhm.
So this girl got in this tizzy. I said, I want you to listen at his speech. So she came with me. I said, we're going to sit together. You got to listen at his speech before you tell me that you don't like him because you just telling me because of his color, his skin. I said, and that's a shame. That's a pute shame.
There's so much more to a person than that.
Yes.
So much more.
I'm
And
glad
we still keep in touch with each other today to this
Okay.
day.
'Cause
Because
you
now
learn
she
something
don't
about
even
something.
work on Martin Luther King. She said, I'm not working on your uncle birthday. Because that's been a tease because his last name is King.
Yeah.
So because I say what you got to listen at what he's saying.
Yeah.
This is what he wants us to do. I love Malcolm X too. But
I'm
you know,
glad you
I
said
love
that.
him I would love for him
I'm
to have
glad
come
you
together, 'cause
said
it was
that.
powerful to me.
Yes.
Do I think we should take care of our own? Yes.
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 It's got to start with that.
So I have a question. I'm glad you say about
Mm.
Malcolm and Martin. They both did great. They fight for what they believe for their right, for their people, which is we all do. You fight for right, like you said, you believe in fighting for civil right, for the right. They both did this. They one is the same for the black. And respectfully, I love what Martin did, but at the same time, I love where he's coming from. Malcolm X, he say, by any means necessary. Until this day, let's look the history. What is happening to black? And a lot of people they didn't agree with Malcolm because said by any means necessary. His father, he was killed because his mother, she's white. Did you guys know that? His mother, she was white. He was mixed. So as I say myself, black, we should celebrate Malcolm the same way we celebrating Martin. I really believe that they should give him that. I'm talking about from our black people. They should recognize date for him. Reason I believe when I look back, I observe Martin, they give him birthday because of a lot of majority people agree nonviolence. I get that. But they both fought for black people because the one that at the time it was mistreated, they were black people. So it was not equal right for all. That's what civil right, right? And I believe that Malcolm should get that respect by our black people. They should recognize him also because he did.
But do they not?
No, they don't
They don't
recognize.
have
He
a
doesn't
day
have
set
day
aside.
for
I mean,
Oh, they
we
want
ju-
a date
We
set
just got
aside for him.
Juneteenth not even 2 years ago, so we got to
Oh,
figure.
yeah.
We got to figure out how to get that in there.
No, really, Malcolm X, again, he said, by any means necessary. If someone come to your house trying to kill you, you're going to sit there and watch. But guess what? These days, black people, they've been shot and killed like you
Animals.
can, like animals. So that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. But I want to go back to what Diana said. You got to start within your own too. There's a lot, I'll use my native people as an example. You got to want to do better for yourself and your children too. You got to want to do what's right for your family. Put away the guns, put away the drugs, put away the alcohol. You got to start from your own
family.
community, your own community, and build out where the strong. You are stronger together than you are alone.
Definitely.
And I think Martin Luther King knew that. He knew he was stronger together. So he had to bring in those politicians. He had to bring in those judges. He had to bring in those people that would help him make that difference. And I think that's probably what set him apart from Malcolm.
Again,
He was the
they
way.
both
He
did
was the
great.
way.
They both did great job, like you say perfectly, Raquel, because he went to bring people in that they were disagreeing, showing them his different perspective. But when he come to Malcolm X, he experienced his own from his background. His dad who was shot and killed, burned. Okay, so he was fighting for his people because the one that was mistreated, they were black people. So this is my people that I have to protect. Because government, they will not agree with him. They were not, because he said, this is my family. They both did a great job. Like he take, what I'm trying to say is Malcolm, he should have by black people. I'm not saying everybody, government, by black people, they should honor him because he gave
I'm
his
sure
life.
he's a great man, but where do you draw the line? If you're gonna give him one, I mean, what about him? Another
Right.
black who did so good as well in his.
No, it's the only two. There are so many die. Don't give me for that. But both there's something is influence for the next generation to come. What I'm trying to say, Malcolm X, he deserved to be honored.
There were other
He-
people also before who
But
have
even
passed.
before that, when you think about Frederick Douglass,
Yeah, Frederick too.
Harriet Tubman.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many people that I'm going to say, where do you draw the line at?
I
Because even I was talking about Rosa Parks one day. I said, if you really
Mhm.
read it, Rosa wasn't the first one that gave up the seat on the
No.
bus, right?
Mm-mm.
So I agree with you with Harriet Tubman. Look what
Mhm.
all that. So definitely, that's for us to do though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We
saying. I'm not
celebrate.
saying
Uh-huh.
us. I said
Yeah.
by black people. I'm not
If you
saying
want
by
to sell, yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
By black people.
But that's what I was saying. It's got to start within
your
our
community.
families,
Yeah.
our community,
Yes.
our
Mhm.
churches,
Mhm.
our schools,
Yes.
to really get that out. And I think once everybody is the same, and I think it comes down to education.
You
too.
cannot just, given a Raquel Panther Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what about?
I'm not asking the
about-
government of the United
No,
States to
you
do.
said
I said
us.
by black people.
I know, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
got
that.
you.
Yeah. we
So
got
we don't need line for doing by black people because I say again, that's not coming from the Constitution. It's coming
But
from
we definitely
by
need to
black.
teach our culture.
Mhm.
Yes.
Go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then teach other people too. When
then
you
you
want to
gotta
know
teach
about them, we gotta teach them.
Yeah.
I still love your power
Mm-hmm.
because it's teaching the generations behind you of that. If you wouldn't have started, now somebody's gonna do it. So
Mhm.
it's up to us
You
to
got to
make a start.
It's up to you.
We gotta make a
Uh-huh.
start.
That's right.
And
Mhm.
how am I gonna say this? In the how am I gonna say this one? Once you, Sabi, I hope you're not. Yeah, they're gonna.
I want
remember
her
you.
to continue on.
Yes,
She,
they're
she
gonna.
becomes history.
know,
You become history when you're, you know what I mean, when you go behind
Yes.
the veil.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
But
what
you
I'm
know,
saying.
So I got to teach somebody.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I'm bringing in
Oops.
younger people that's able to do that. Oh my gosh, guys, we ran out of time. Great topic
Great
for
topic,
today.
yes.
But thank you guys for being with us. Continue the topic, the conversation. Drop it in our chat. Drop it down
Please
there.
don't forget to subscribe.
Like and share. We love you guys.
Thank
See you
you.
again soon.
Hello, colorful Voices of Sisterhood fans. We got some exciting news today. We are proud to announce our new partnership with Vegas Plus, Colorful Voices of Sisterhood, to be aired on all of the platforms of Vegas Plus, primarily on the Vegas Live TV and Phil Am TV network. What this means is Colorful Voices of Sisterhood will be aired 7 times weekly on the linear channels, including but not limited to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, KGNG 26.8 Las Vegas, WCETV, Vegas Live TV.us, and now, more importantly, on the Vegas Plus Live Channel platform in Ampo Theater.
Cheers to us.
Yes.
Cheers!
Yes.
Many more to
Thank
come.
you. Yes.
New network, new friendship.
Thanks to them, we did it.
At L'Amour Media Versatility, we aim to provide comprehensive solutions to our clients. We have a team of experienced professionals who can help you with every aspect of your media needs. From documentation and marketing to promotion and more, we provide our clients with top-notch quality services. We understand that each client is unique and has specific needs. That's why our team works closely with you to understand your company and event goals and objectives. We are committed to providing the highest quality services in media and strive to exceed our clients' expectations. Our team is passionate about helping you reach your goals and making sure you get the best experience and results. If you're looking for a reliable business to help you with all your media needs, look no further than Lamore Media Versatility. Contact us today to get started at 252-497-3817 or at www.lamore-photos.com.
It's an LMV thing.